Hello and welcome to Liberty Nation's LNTV. I'm your host, Mark Angelides. Now today we're going to be talking about the McCloskeys, the couple in St. Louis who've been charged with felonies for their response to protesters that has pretty much taken the internet by storm. Here to talk about this is Mr. Scott D. Cosenza, Liberty Nation's legal affairs editor. Scott, what can you tell us about the charges that they're facing?
Well, they're felony charges, and Kim Gardner, I think they call the prosecuting attorney circuit attorney in Missouri, and she's leveled the charges against both members of the couple.
So the first question, Scott, do you think it's warranted, these charges?
Well, when I first saw the videotape, I have to say, Mark, I thought that the way they were pointing their guns was potentially problematic for them. The nitty-gritty will come down to whether or not the way they were handling their firearms was legal, and I think that there may be some problems there for the couple.
So this has, on so many levels, this has become an extraordinary case, Scott.
That is an understatement, sure, yeah.
So obviously, I'd like, if you could, give us a bit of a background into who the players are here.
So first of all, we have Ms. Gardner, and Kim Gardner is a prosecutor who faces a primary election challenge soon, and then will face a general election challenge. She is called a Soros prosecutor, who's financed massively by those sort of progressive factors. She's also very recently tweeted or retweeted content by Shannon Watts, the putative founder of Moms Demand Action, I think, one of the anti-gun groups, the gun control groups. So she's heavily involved in politics against guns and anti-gun politician. Now that's the prosecuting attorney. Then we go to the attorney general, whose name is Eric Schmidt, and Mr. Schmidt has filed a motion in the court, and Mr. Schmidt's motion says that the couple was exercising their constitutionally protected rights and that these charges should be dismissed. Now, let me hasten to add, Mark, in case you weren't aware, it is extraordinary for an attorney general of any state to ask a state court judge to dismiss recently filed criminal charges against one of the citizens. To say that doesn't happen is an understatement. It doesn't happen. And then we have news from Mike Parson, the governor of Missouri, that he will pardon the couple.
Now, Scott, a lot of what's going to be appearing to the public over the next, however long this court case actually takes, is going to be how the couple, the McCloskeys, actually handle the weapons. Much of it has been made on social media. Now, Scott, you're an attorney, but also a firearms trainer. As a firearms trainer, what would you have done differently here?
Well, I think that one of the main legal issues we'll see develop, Mark, is what were the McCloskeys processing? What is their reasonable state of mind? Will have a lot to do with, I think, how the case progresses. And we've seen the video probably all many times of what it looks like from the protesters' point of view, but what were they looking at is a different situation. And that'll weigh in on whether their actions were reasonable. And then within that context, we'll see, was their gun handling reasonable? Were they perceiving multiple threats across the landscape of their yard? So whether or not that was legal will have to depend on what threat they reasonably perceived they were facing. The kind of gun trainer aspect of it, I would say, for instance, Ms. McCloskey has her hand on the trigger of her firearm for at least some significant portion of that video. Now, we're told later on by one of their attorneys that it was non-functioning, but we don't know if that's true or not. But what we do know is we shouldn't put our hands on the trigger of a firearm unless we're ready to discharge it. So just in terms of pure gun handling, that's a fail. Now, for the other aspects, I think it's only fair to try to investigate what the McCloskeys were perceiving at the time. And I just wanted to add, prosecutors should only bring charges if the law and the facts demand that they do so under their judgment without respect to the political beliefs of those who are to be charged, whether that's about tearing down a statue or pointing a gun at a crowd of marchers.
And that's exactly what we'll speak about on our next LNTV. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Mark.
And thanks to you at home for watching.
Go deeper on the topic discussed in this video, head on over to one of these links here or go to our Liberty Nation Roku channel. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for Liberty.